8 dark horse candidates for MVP, and usually the people writing these articles are the people voting on them. So these are the players they want you to think about potentially spending your hard-earned money on and getting the gears, getting the ideas in your head for MVP this year. So let's see how legit they are. You haven't seen this list, so it'll be a complete raw reaction. So let's see who they have at number 1 here.
All right, let's take a look.
And at number 1, they have friend of the show, Jared Goff.
Jared Goff. You know what? I like this. I don't think he's going to win MVP, but I think with the Lions, them being America's team at this point, if he has a great season, if he throws for 30 touchdowns and they're 14-3, why not?
Yeah, and I think last year was a year where they really didn't know who to give the MVP to. They gave it to Christian McCaffrey, I believe.
MVP they gave to Lamar.
To Lamar, right. So they gave Offensive Player of the Year to McCaffrey. They gave it to Lamar, but Lamar, I remember it because like Lamar was like supposed to be the MVP because they're the number 1 team, but you looked at his numbers and you're like, not great.
No, it was the Steve Nash MVP situation.
Yeah, where it's like he had the best numbers and they were the best team. So like best quarterback on the best team. And we're not giving it to Brock Purdy because we don't want him to be the MVP. So let's give it to Lamar because he should get a second MVP. So yeah, if you can be the number 1 team on America's team and have some good numbers, I think Jared Goff has a great chance, especially just signed a $212 million extension. Going to be playing free, and he get the no trade clause in there, so he's not going to be constantly looking over his shoulder.
Yeah, I think it's definitely fitting, especially with how good that team is offensively.
Yeah, and then at number 2, we have Tyreek Hill, who maybe should have been the MVP last year.
He should have been MVP the last 2 years, potentially. I think the thing is I know I can't put him as an MVP candidate because just the way the voters are, because he should have won MVP last year at one point. He was the most valuable player on the Dolphins, and at one point they were in the division lead. I think he should have won already. He should already have an MVP, but he doesn't.
Yeah, and the definition of valuable, it's like, okay, most valuable player on the team, let's take him off the team and see what the team looks like. All right. The Dolphins take him off the football field versus the Bills, and Tua throws that interception to end the game.
The very next play.
The very next play.
The very next play. So I think he is the most valuable player, but unfortunately, they will not vote for him.
No, they won't vote for a receiver because, oh, it's a dependent. Someone has to give him the ball, so let's give it to Tua.
Right.
And then after that, they have Christian McCaffrey. I just don't see it because Niners coming off a Super Bowl loss. Christian McCaffrey's been playing really well the past few years, but I think they're not going to want him to have MVP numbers because they need him for the playoffs and they need to save his knees, especially with his injury history. Got to keep the guy healthy.
Between his injury history, between the Super Bowl hangover, and then the worst of them all, the Madden curse, they're going to wrap that man in bubble wrap. I don't think he wins MVP. I think he could have won last year very easily, but I just don't think it's going to happen this time.
Yeah, and next they have Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray. I think he has a better chance of being a comeback player of the year than he does being the MVP. I just don't see how the Cardinals are going to be competitive enough with the teams that are in their division currently, and I just don't see him putting up the numbers. Yeah, he got Maserati Marv, but at the same time, who is the other receivers on that team? There aren't any. They have Greg Dortch as his number 2. I don't want to. This is noise. I don't want to hear this. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, did his offensive line get shorter? Like, can he see the middle of the field now?
Did the rest of the league get a foot shorter? That's the question that should be asked.
And then they have Micah Parsons.
Of course they do. Of course they have Micah Parsons.
Propaganda.
Because, and I bet at one point we're going to see Dak Prescott. How much you want to bet we're going to see Dak Prescott? Micah Parsons. It seems like they try to prop him into the MVP race every single year. I think he's a great player. But the reason why he's in this conversation is because he's a Cowboy and not because he's an MVP. Enough with the noise.
Yeah, TJ Watt I would replace with Micah Parsons because TJ Watt,
the numbers are there.
He should have an MVP with how he impacts the record.
Yes, they are a Super Bowl team with him, and they are a terrible team without him.
Yeah, at least regular season wise. And then I think Dak Prescott, the reason why he isn't on this list is he's on the list with the big dogs.
Right.
Yeah, because he's a Cowboy.
Right, of course. Wild, Wild West.
And then after that, they have CJ Stroud below Micah Parsons for some reason.
This is a ranking. Oh my god.
I hope
CJ
not.
CJ Stroud should be right up there with Jared Goff. I think he should be above Jared Goff because they got Stephon Diggs. They have Nico Collins. They have Tank Dell. I think this team is arguably the best team in the NFL at this point. You can argue, obviously, the Chiefs are above him, but that's crazy. I think CJ Stroud has to be above everybody we've mentioned already.
And then for some reason Tua is here. I don't know why.
Why would they put a bust on this list? That's crazy.
Yeah, why is Tua here? Like Tua, like can we get past the wild card round? Can we win the division first when we start out with a massive lead on the Bills and then completely collapse at the end of the regular season because we can't beat good teams except for the Cowboys who also can't beat good teams?
Yeah, I don't love Tua there at
Because
all.
the bonus pick is better than Tua because I don't know, Jordan Love, I feel like
Yeah.
should be a higher MVP candidate than Tua because he can do this thing called throw the ball outside the numbers.
Yeah, and I think Jordan Love last year, that was really his rookie season, and by the end of it, he was making balls that pretty much only Patrick Mahomes can make, and I think they have a real chance, especially with how young they are. They're kind of like the Oklahoma City Thunder of the NFL. Super young, super large room to grow. I think that's a legit MVP candidate.
Yeah, and they had a tough playoff matchup where they probably should have beat the 49ers.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were some plays in there where few dropped interceptions, few plays go their way. I think they're right there. And there's a similar situation where with the Thunder as well, with that comparison, where the only team they lost to was the team that made the Super Bowl. And inevitably they lost, but that's still the team that they fell to.
Yeah, it's just ultimately, will Josh Jacobs be their Alex Caruso is the question.
Will he be their Alex Caruso? That is the question there, but that is the 8 dark horse candidates for MVP. Let us know what you think. Do you think they're insane for putting Micah Parsons and Tua on this list? I definitely do, but I like Jordan Love. I like CJ Stroud, who shouldn't really be a dark horse. And I like Jared Goff on this list. So let us know what you think and let us know who your dark horse MVP is.